Are you exploring plant-based eating now and think you want to make a change, but feel confused about what this actually means? You see others moving into plant-based eating and know it's helping them. But is eating this way the same as going vegan? Or how do you know you're choosing the right foods to eat? Let me help. In this first episode of the Plant-Based Beginner series, I'll share 3 important things you need to know about plant-based eating and clear up the confusion between different plant-based terms. Let's get you started on the road to transforming your health with confidence. Ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Friend, a new year begins with so much possibility, and I'm excited to help you move into a greater plant-powered lifestyle this year. That's why I'm doing this 4-part plant-based beginner series to empower and help you take confident steps forward in your diet transition. But there are some other ways I want to support you. Starting today, January 5th till January 23rd, I'm offering 20% off my Plant-Powered Life Transformation course. That means when you enroll in the PPLT course, you can use the voucher code NEWYEAR20 at checkout and save. But there's more. If you join the PPLT course before midnight, January 15th, you'll get to enjoy an extra bonus 40-minute private one-to-one coaching session with me. We'll use that session to help you strategize and kickstart your lifestyle change so you can have even more success in your diet transition. Use the code NEWYEAR20 to get this limited time savings and the bonus coaching session by January 15th. Go to plantnourish.com/PPLT course to get more details or see the link given in the show notes. Now, if you've already started a plant-based diet, you might be familiar with this scenario. I'm sitting with family at a restaurant and we are trying to order off the menu. Sometimes we see a separate section on the menu titled vegetarian or plant-based with various entrees that can be ordered. Or there might be a little leaf or V symbol next to certain menu options and a legend telling you what that means. Well, I've learned over the years not to get too excited when I see these markings on the menu, because it may not mean what I am thinking and hoping it would be. Often, these earmarked entree options are more vegetarian than actually vegan. And even if an entree is designated as plant-based, it could still contain some animal-based ingredients in it, like butter, cow's milk, or egg. So I've learned that I need to always check with the waitstaff to clarify if I'm not sure. That's why I know that terms like vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, and other terms we hear of being tossed around on social media can be really confusing. So if you are new to this space and find these terms confusing, know that this is normal and expected. That's why I wanted to do this episode to bring more clarity and less confusion to you. So what does eating plant-based actually mean? Is it the same as being a vegan? The answer is no, not quite. Here's the first key thing you need to know about this. The term plant-based is actually quite a loose and general term. So when a person is talking about being plant-based, more often than not, it simply means that the person has chosen to eat in a way that is more plant predominant. This means choosing to intentionally eat more plants and less meats in their diet, and to center their plates around plant based foods. So it may not automatically mean a person is avoiding all meats and other animal based products. Think of it as more of a regular diet, but fortified and bulked up with lots more plant based foods like fruits and vegetables. Here's the second thing you need to know. There are quite a few different specific eating patterns that fall under the general plant based diet umbrella term. These include more specific eating patterns like a vegetarian diet, which excludes meats but does contain dairy and or eggs, a vegan diet that excludes all animal-based products and byproducts, and a pescatarian diet, which usually includes fish, eggs, and dairy. There can even be more specific ways of eating, such as a fruitarian diet, where most meals consist of only fruit, though in some cases, nuts, seeds, and a few vegetables like tomatoes and avocados may also be eaten. Can you see the wide variation there is under the plant-based diet umbrella term? This is why, in almost all circumstances, when a person says that they are eating a plant-based diet, you would need to probe further to ask a person what they are truly eating or avoiding in their meals, so you can understand what kind of specific plant-based eating pattern they are following. Now here's a third important thing you need to know. While many of the eating patterns under the plant-based diet umbrella are healthier than a meat and processed foods heavy regular diet, it still does not mean that all plant-based diets are necessarily the healthiest and best for you. That's because nowadays there are many commercially packaged processed food products that have been manufactured to contain no animal-based ingredients. So food companies can label these to be vegan or plant-based products, but these products actually bring few health benefits when eaten. Worse yet, these highly processed foods can come packaged with quite a bit of salt, sugar, oils, and other additives to enhance taste and preserve shelf life, but which can be detrimental to our health, especially when consumed over the long term. You can see this in many of the vegan snack products like potato chips, cookies, and pastries, and even in certain dairy-free alternatives like plant-based dairy cheeses and ice creams, in select meat substitutes and frozen plant-based meals. A more healthful way to go about eating a plant-based diet then is this. Is to intentionally choose to fill your plates with minimally processed or unprocessed whole plant-based foods, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, beans, and seeds, instead of ultra-processed packaged commercial vegan food products. And this is a specific way of eating under the general plant-based diet umbrella term. This way of eating is called a whole food plant-based diet, and it is the most healthful plant-based way to eat. That's because by filling your plates with these nutrient-dense and fiber-rich whole natural plant-based foods, you'll be nourishing and building your bodies in the best way possible and maximizing the potential health benefits you can get from these foods. So, if you are really wanting to transform your health and reap the most health benefits from a plant-based diet lifestyle, I would encourage you to move into a whole food plant-based diet way of eating as fully as you can. So today we looked at 3 key things to know in regards to what eating plant-based really is and what it is not. The first is that the term plant-based is a very general umbrella term and may include specific eating patterns under it that include some animal-based products. Secondly, there can be many different plant-centered diets that fall under the plant-based diet umbrella. Third, just being on a vegan or plant-based diet does not necessarily mean you're eating the best way to improve your health and reap the full benefits of this diet lifestyle. To do that, you will need to limit or avoid ultra-processed commercial vegan food products and focus as much as you can on eating a whole food plant-based diet. This is one that focuses on minimally processed and unprocessed whole plant-based foods, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. Friend, if you want to master the basics of plant-based eating while enjoying a smooth transition and delicious meals, Join me inside the online Plant Power Life Transformation course. You can get more details at plantnourish.com/PPLT course or learn more from the link in the show notes. Once there, remember to use the voucher code NEWYEAR20 to get 20% off the course enrollment fee. And if you enroll by midnight January 15th, you'll get to enjoy an extra one-to-one private coaching session with me to help you kickstart your diet transition with more confidence and success. I want to support you in reaching the best health in 2026. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please take a moment to rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Knowing how this podcast has made a difference in your life never fails to light me up. I may also select your review to be read on the show. Remember that moving to plant-based eating can be simple and doable, even with your existing health challenges and busy lifestyle. If you have a plant-based diet question you'd like me to answer on this show, share that question with me using the contact options in the show notes. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. Until next time, keep plant-focused and thriving, my friend.